Bad things to say at Prime Minister's question time.
Is this going to take long? Because I've got an appointment with a rent boy in half an hour.
What's unfair to me is the number of people who are expected to pretend they care about jobs they don't care about. You should be allowed to say, look, I'm fulfilling my contract. You can't put in the contract, also you have to seem like you give a shit. I think that's expecting too much. Yeah. That's why I really like the fact that we live in a country with such poor customer service. I've got respect for that. You know, this is a horrible train, you're tearing tickets. Of course you're in an awful mood.
Now that you've put it like that, I shall feel better about it. You're right. Why have a cheesy grin on your face if you are working in an awful supermarket?
Well, it's the sign either of a liar or a moron.
Cameron is going to take on Farage. According to the Sunday Times, Cameron wants the TV debates to be in a 2-3-5 formation. So that's Cameron Miliband, Clegg Miliband Cameron, and Farage Cameron Clegg Miliband with Yaya Toure behind the strikers. Thank you for laughing. I don't know what that meant.
Unlikely things to hear at the Oscars.
I'd like to thank the person who cast me as a blind, autistic, Parkinson's disease-ridden mute for making this award almost inevitable.
Bee, and it's crawling on its last legs.
I always rescue them.
You give it honey. It's the only thing they eat. Makes sense when you think about it.
Isn't it true, though, that a bee in his entire lifetime makes an absolutely tiny amount of honey overall? I mean, just a minute amount of honey.
Yeah,
so you don't have to give much rehabilitating honey to this one bee before the nation, the world, is making a net loss from that bee. It's useless. If you only get 1 teaspoon of honey from a whole bee's lifetime, and every time we have to get it back on its feet, it takes a teaspoon and a half, suddenly there's no honey at all.
This is more honey than this bee has seen in its life.
Yeah.
It's just
You're insulting it, apart from anything else. It's like showing a very tired mason a whole cathedral.
What mustn't you feed hedgehogs?
Bread and milk.
Exactly, bread and milk is a bad idea. People do it gives them diarrhoea and they dry out.
Really feed bread and milk to any mammal, including humans.
But there is a Radio 4 show that
come off it.
No,
well, you shouldn't feed humans bread and milk.
No, not really.
What do you mean, not really? It's absolutely demonstrably fine.
No, it's not very good for you.
Well, it's fine.
Bread and butter
We've been
pudding.
drinking milk and eating bread for ages. Why is it suddenly a massive problem? Oh,
Yeah.
no, actually, we're supposed to live till we're 250. But no, we've been eating all this poisonous bread and milk all the time. We can barely live past 98. It's ridiculous. Of course we're supposed to eat bread and milk. Not just bread and milk.
Oh, poor Alan.
No,
Don't
no.
bully him. Poor Alan.
The worst thing to hear on holiday.
Welcome to Butlins. From your bedroom window, you have a lovely view of the town's ageing nuclear facility. You must be the only person in the hotel who isn't going to the Star Trek convention.
Unlikely things to hear on a history documentary.
On the first day of the Battle of the Somme, over 60,000 documentaries were commissioned. The Loch Ness Monster. Fact or fiction? Fiction. Good night.
So my question is, what's your worst nightmare?
I don't have nightmares. I just occasionally have dreams that are quite stressful.
Oh, like what?
Increasingly, they involve having to do my A-levels again.
Oh.
For some reason, I've been busted back to the sixth form, and I have to do my A-levels again. I keep saying, this is ridiculous. I've been to university. Why am I having to do my A-levels again? But I do have to do them again. And I wake up all stressed by it.
And then have to go to the toilet.
Yeah. It's quite nice, because I reflect as I go to the toilet that I don't have to do my A-levels again. So that's good news.
Father of history, what's he called?
Herodotus.
Herodotus. Because it must have been a lot easier when he was around. I'm not having a go at him.
No, it's a fair
But less
point.
things had happened back then.
Fewer things.
Yes.
I think. we wouldn't tell you that.
Common usage. Play common usage cards.
It's so like being back at school. It's unbelievable.
Apparently, you can say less or if you want to now.
Apparently, you can just say what you like these days. Apparently, that's
You can literally say less if you want to.
Apparently, you're not allowed to scream idiot at people. What was the point in getting an education at all? I know how to use the apostrophe. Apparently, now it doesn't matter. What I want the time it took me to learn that back.
Things you wouldn't hear at a party conference.
Blackpool's nice, isn't it? Well, I must say, on this issue, I'm with Al-Qaeda.
There he is, Bertie Russell.
He wasn't a barrel of laughs, was he?
They say that his breath was not good. I mean, that's in the biographies of Keynes and his contemporaries. He had very bad breath. But he was a remarkable man. And he wrote Principia Mathematica, which was a book determined to reinvent maths, because set theory produced all kinds of paradoxes which seemed to suggest that nothing could be proved or complete or consistent in mathematics, which was a huge shock. And so he had to set out to prove mathematics worked from the very first principle.
Very, very good at Sudoku.
He was, oddly enough, he was said not to be that good at mental arithmetic, but... So, in order to prove mathematics from the very beginning, you have to establish the first principle of arithmetic, and that piece of symbolic logic was proving that 1 + 1 = 2.
It's a bit late, the 20th century, to prove that, I'd say.
You're a bit late.
We've got quite a lot riding by the 20th century on 1 + 1 being 2, you know. Quite a lot of engineering happening, quite a complex international economy.
Oh,
If you find out that it doesn't equal 2, what do we do? Just burn everything. Because God knows anything could fall on our heads. Money, you might as well eat it. Forget civilization.
Well, there is a general thought that if what were considered to be the sound foundations on which all mathematics rested were proved to be rocky, that it may mean that some of the ultimate answers of the universe will never be answered. But it's rather splendid to think you would give so much effort into proving 1 + 1.
What an extraordinary achievement.
It is.
You just have to bring up his halitosis.
I know, that was silly of me, but I love that.
You know, it
He's
comes
a great...
to something where you think you've achieved that.
Imagine meeting him at a party,
Old
though.
Stinky Russell.
I met this bloke at a party. He stank. And when I asked him what he did, he said he proved that 1 + 1 = 2.
Where is this cheese from? I'll give you a clue. It begins with S. Alan.
Shropshire.
I don't know what made you think of it.
Sometimes, you know, you say the obvious one, and then you go, yes. But never to me.
It doesn't come from Shropshire. Anything else? It begins with an S, does not come from Shropshire.
Spain, Sussex, Surrey, Scotland.
Scotland, it comes from Scotland. It absolutely does. It was originally called Inverness Shire Blue or Blue Stewart, and I don't know why they thought if they renamed it Shropshire, people would be more likely to buy it. So it was a PR job.
So is it quite a recent invention?
It's a fairly recent cheese, yeah. Rather like Stinking Bishop.
Oh, yeah, that's like a made-up oldie-worldy thing, isn't
It's 1973 it was
like
invented.
hobnobs. They're quite recent.
Are they?
Yeah, the hobnobs. Oh, that's an old biscuit. I'll have a hobnob. It's about something like 1981. I resent the hobnob's quick entry into sort of... It's a quick biscuit to refer to. In a joke, you'd go, oh, a hobnob or whatever. No, hobnob, you're new. Leave the biscuit references to the rich tea and the digestive. They've done the time. It's like the bloody ploughman's lunch. Add executives' inventions.
And tonight's show was sponsored by Hobnobs.
Things you wouldn't hear at the Olympics.
We can't find a national anthem to Togo. We're going to have to use the Benny Hill theme tune.
And coming up, your chance to watch teenagers in leotards without feeling bad.
And first of all, I want to find out what is winding up David Mitchell.
Yes, it's people who get annoyed when you don't remember them. I would like them to go in the room.
OK.
Whoever the hell they are.
That was beautiful. Started like rain on a roof, but then...
Yeah, it grew on them. Look, I'm not saying it's good to not remember someone who you've met before. And if you don't remember someone, obviously you should try and conceal it. I accept that. You know, if you can't remember someone's name or you're not sure whether you've met them at all or whatever, just, you know, nod and smile, say nice to see you. Don't make it obvious. You know, it's out there that you've met this person before and you haven't remembered them. Now, I've not been remembered by people, and I've never made a thing of it. I don't think there's any point in making a thing of it, because something has happened somewhere deep in the workings of someone's brain. And there's nothing to be done about it. The remembering has not happened. In fact, the person who's angry that I haven't remembered them, I've only got their word for it that I've met them at all. But, you know, nevertheless, I do believe them because I am quite a thoughtless, forgetful person. But why get angry with something that my brain has unconsciously failed to do? What am I supposed to do about it? Go back in time to the moment when I supposedly met this person and then sort of do some homework afterwards, revise the people I bumped into at that party so that when I meet them next time, I'll go, oh, yes, hello, Steve, or whatever. No, that's not workable. Leave me alone. It's like shouting at children for not being clever enough. There's no point in getting annoyed. There's no point in saying, I wish your brain was structured in a kinder, more caring way. That's just not the way social interaction between humans works. We don't address head-on the issue of whether a person is more or less nice. So I say, if someone doesn't remember you, live with it, be bitter inside, don't get outwardly annoyed.
Doing a book signing and a woman came up my family was there, and the woman came up to me and said, I don't know if you remember me, we had a one-night stand in 1997.
You see, that's polite.
Yeah. I definitely said thank you.
But you know, she's saying, I won't speculate as to whether it is accurate or not, but she's saying you've had sex. But even so, she's polite enough to think that maybe you've forgotten the encounter. You remember, I think that's extremely well-mannered.
And she's attached a year to it as well, so she's given me some... I'm able to narrow it down.
Yeah.
It's like Google Earth. I've just closed it in just a little bit.
I'm with you, but why get offended by it? If it was me, I'd feel bad that you didn't remember me, rather than feeling annoyed that you didn't remember me.
Yeah, I mean, there's an onus on a person to be at least slightly memorable.
Yeah.
Is that something? Don't get angry at me that you're so forgettable. Get angry at your personality and the world. It's not my fault.
Sometimes you remember people for being horrible.
Yes, everyone remembered Hitler's name.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the surname you've got, but...
Yeah. Just call him Herr Hitler. Don't let on that you can't remember his first name.
Here's an aide-de-memoire that a wife put together for a husband. This is a sign that she left on the door so he didn't forget his lunch.
What I find regrettable there is she obviously has decided her husband is just obsessed with breasts and vaginas, and yet she's
still... Where's the vagina?
Well, because
that's an arrow. That's a downward arrow.
Oh, I see. I assume. What I was thinking is she was thinking that he would look first at the breast and then downwards towards the groin. There you go. There's no point in hiding it now. It has been televised.
Bad things to say on stage at Live 8.
A lot of people complain that there are no ethnic minorities at this gig, but no, here they are, the black and white minstrel show.
What the voices in Prince Charles's head are saying.
How much would it cost to turn Windsor Castle bouncy?
Inappropriate things to say on winning Wimbledon.
To be honest, only one because I'm pissed. It's been everything. It's been amazing. Apart from the crowd, who are a bunch of arseholes, and I wish they'd stop trying to share in what is essentially my triumph.
I'm not in touch with Vivienne Westwood.
Right.
Though I did get married in Vivienne Westwood, so...
Did you?
You know, yeah. Not inside her.
Karen Brady, off of The Apprentice, was at the Tory Party conference. What was she wearing? I mean, what was she there for?
Oh, yes. Well, I can tell you what she was wearing.
Okay, you can say
it was
what
one of those body illusion dresses that makes you look half the size you are.
Yes, we can have a look at Karen Brady's bodycon dress. If you believed the bodycon there, you'd just call an ambulance, wouldn't you? Yes. Brady was there to introduce George Osborne. Do you know how she did that?
George Osborne.
Bill Clinton did Tony Blair once.
Really?
I mean, introduced him.
Get your wife to do it now. That's the other thing at the conference. I think after Justine's performance in the Ed Miliband show, no wife is going to do it again, are they? Did anyone see that?
She was told to kiss him.
Oh, yeah, and she has to do it.
Well, not even prostitutes have to kiss. And there was also a spectre at the feast at the Tory conference. Do you know who that was?
Oh, Nigel Farage.
Yes, and I suppose the ghost of Margaret Thatcher was probably
Because she was invoked, wasn't she?
Was she?
The mummy.
They did a séance.
Anyway, he turned up, didn't he?
Yes, he turned up in Manchester to address a lunatic fringe... Sorry, Freudian slip. A fringe meeting. Here he is arriving.
Do you expect a warm welcome at the Tory conference?
No.
Almost everybody thinks that vertical stripes make people look slimmer. In fact, in prisons, sometimes women have asked for vertical rather than horizontal stripes so that they look leaner, or they think they'll look leaner. But it turns out, research from a man called Dr. Peter Thompson of York University has discovered that the large majority think the one in the vertical stripe is larger than the one in the horizontal stripe when they are the same size.
Surely this shows, actually, that it makes no real difference at all. Because we're determining whether wearing vertical or horizontal stripes makes you look thinner.
Yeah.
And you can't tell by looking. You have to do research. Yes. The difference is so slight, you have to do research with hundreds and hundreds of people. Basically, people look as fat or thin as they are.
I beg to differ.
I have a friend who's quite short, and he likes to wear vertical stripes because they make him look taller.
Only when he's not standing next to anyone. It's not going to make him look taller than a taller man. It's all relative. He'll just say, oh, there's a normal-sized man next to an enormous man. And then you go, oh, thank God, he's taking his striped shirt off. It's actually a tiny man next to a normal man.
I've missed your angry logic, David, I have to say.
I think it just alternates, doesn't it? For ages you think, OK, vertical stripes make people look thinner. Then you say, oh, she's wearing vertical stripes, therefore she must be fatter than she looks. Therefore you start thinking, oh, she looks fatter because she's wearing vertical stripes. So suddenly horizontal stripes start making you look thinner because, oh, she must be thin, otherwise she'd never dare wear horizontal stripes. Then they go, oh, no, horizontal stripes make you look thinner. Oh, she must be fat, she's wearing horizontal.
What's upsetting David Mitchell?
Sugar lumps. You take a commodity that people want to decide how much they want, and you congeal it in such a way as to prescribe a minimum dose. You don't get that with ketchup. You can put as much ketchup on or as little as you like. You don't have to put a minimum of that sized clod of it. Sugar exists as a powder in a granulated form. Why turn it into lumps? What are you doing? You're only limiting its usage. You're not extending its usage. So, there you go. Sugar lumps. Why do they exist? Stop doing it. Stop congealing sugar into lumps.
I don't know why it exists, actually.
And do you know what? Well, one argument you could make. Let me play devil's advocate, and I mean devils. They're devils. Is you could say, well, it's a useful way to take, you know, an amount of sugar, you know, that you can then hold it, such as a sugar sachet. And obviously, a sugar sachet that involves paper. That's worse for the environment. However, there exists, and I have seen this, and the people who make these are the real satans of the world. Sugar lumps in sachets. A lump of sugar in a little plastic. Why is that allowed to exist? What's the point of that? The only defence for the lump, the sugar lump that allows bowls of sugar in cafes to get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier, and people have, oh, I'll have that one. Oh, that's a bit of a wonky one. You know, this disgusting thing. The only defence is a certain level of convenience, and then someone decides, well, actually, let's take the sachet that also provides that level of convenience and put a lump in it. And these aren't sugar sachets that have been left in the wet or something. This is a deliberately formed sugar lump put in a sachet. Can you imagine anything more diabolical? Just drop
I think with sugar lumps, probably every sugar lump in a bowl in a cafe has been handled by at least 60 to 100 toddlers.
Yeah, you're preaching to the converted, but what I'm saying is if you've decided, OK, sugar lumps are disgusting, let's put sugar in sachets to limit small amounts of it, why? Why? Render the sugar into a lump before you put it in a sachet.
Why? Because then the toddler germs won't get on the sugar lump you want to use.
But you don't need... The unlumpened sugar has the same sweetening effect. You don't need to turn it into a lump. You can just put it in the sachet. The toddlers can't touch it. You can have half of it if you don't want the whole thing. Everyone wins.
How do they stick it together? The lump?
God knows. I've heard they get Chinese children to cry.
But you need sugar lumps to be able to feed sugar to horses.
Well, you may have hit upon the only use for the sugar lump. But firstly, the instances of equine diabetes are... and secondly, I'm sure we could design some sort of spoon for feeding sugar to horses.
Or a tube. We know they can blow out. They can probably...
Yeah, a sort of tube. You could give the horse a kind of sugar.
We don't want horses snorting sugar.
Because the other argument you could make in favour of the sugar lump, but you wouldn't unless you know, came from hell. Another argument you could make is that it saves on, washing a piece of cutlery, because you don't need a spoon. You can just plop it in. You still need the spoon to stir, but you shouldn't use the same spoon to spoon sugar in as to stir. That makes you a monster.
Don't you have those little tongs, though?
The days of those tongs are gone.
No.
Hardly any of those.
Not in Dunblane.
Really? The last bastion of the sugar tongs. If you're saying the only way to make the lumps hygienic is to use tongs, then you're not saving on cutlery at all. That got you.
But, as you pointed out, tongs are on the way out, and I, for one, would like to save the tong. I've got, in my house, I have sugar tongs. I have a coal fire with tongs. Any excuse to use tongs. I run a small men's clinic. I would be sad to see the end of the tong. And if you get rid of sugar lumps, that's going to be a major blow to the tong industry.
You're gonna keep the sugar lump to save the tongs?
Yeah.
This is madness.
The teapot,
you should never
David.
clean a teapot.
No.
Under no circumstance.
It's been used as a teapot.
If you came in and couldn't find the loo one night...
I have only a hunch, but I sense a hypothetical situation.
This is not a hypothetical situation. I've only ever used a teapot for tea. But occasionally, if you make sort of tea in a teapot once in a blue moon when you can be bothered in a vague attempt to seem more civilised than you actually are, you then sort of leave, still got a bit of tea in it. Some tea
you rinse it out.
No, you don't rinse it out because you forget, because immediately you're tired of being civilised and you want to go to the pub. You leave it there for weeks and weeks and months, and then when you have a look in it, it's gone disgustingly mouldy.
And it's talking to you.
Yeah. At that point, the flavour that you would get if you didn't wash it from your next cup of tea is, if anything, too characterful.